Welcome to the Fan of History. I am the Fan of History, and I just got a question on YouTube that I would like to address. This is the Fan of History podcast, episode 24, released on October 28th, The Oath of Shalmaneser III. I have not posted all of these podcast episodes on YouTube, which I will do eventually. But if you want to follow the podcast, you can do so on iTunes or directly on our site in the feed. Regarding the YouTube show, this is the latest event show I did. It has 200 views, the 730s BC. I will go down to 701 BC, the destruction of Sennacherib, because that's what I promised on the Patreon. But you see, this is a lot of work, these episodes on YouTube. It's a lot more work than the podcast. And it's getting about, the podcast is about 5 to 10 times bigger than the YouTube show now. So when we do the podcast, we get a lot more listeners. I think this might be better. The Fan of History project might be better as a podcast than as a YouTube show. And it might have been a mistake by me to do the YouTube show from the start instead of a podcast straight up. I will go on to 701 BC, like I said. But if you want to see the YouTube show continue, please support this project on Patreon, patreon.com/fanofhistory, because I am now a full-time YouTuber. I have another YouTube channel, Magic Gathering Strat, that is much bigger than Fan of History. And that is what is bringing in the bread on my family's table. I have to support myself and my family through YouTube. And you can check out the Fan of History Patreon, and it's not enough. I can't do this if I want to be a full-time YouTuber, and I do. So if you support it, I could continue. And you can read all about it on the Patreon. But that's why the 720s BC show haven't started yet. I'm working on it, but it has low priority compared to the projects on Magic Gathering Strat that is actually bringing in money, which you need if you are to be a full-time YouTuber. We just hit 5,000 subscribers on the Magic Gathering Strat channel. Also, it's Magic, the Gathering, so there is a lot of, other money coming into that project. So it's a lot easier than Ancient History. I'm still interested in Ancient History, and the podcast is still going. We're doing it every other week, and we'll keep doing it for the foreseeable future. So you should really keep up to date with the Fan of History podcast, and eventually the podcast will catch up to the event show, and I might merge them in some way. But those are my thoughts right now on the Fan of History project. We are doing the timeline, the world history, but that's mostly Shane's work. I would welcome anybody else to do things on the Fan of History YouTube channel, and I of course would like to hear your opinion, because the Patreon has kind of failed. So what do you really want to see on the Fan of History YouTube? Is there anything that would make you become a patron? I tried the Hitler thing. It didn't turn out very well either. So covering another time period is probably not going to work either. I'm actually also involved in a project. I have the poison gas in World War II thing that I still haven't finished as well. But I might also become involved in a documentary project as the Fan of History. And if you see all my other YouTube channels, there are more than just the Magic Gathering Strat channel. I use the Fan of History as my alias everywhere and try to direct people to this channel. But yeah, after 1.5 years, we haven't even got to 600 subscribers yet. So any tips you can give me on how to improve the Fan of History YouTube channel would be greatly appreciated. And thank you all for your support and for being subscribers of the Fan of History YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.